Hi everybody, welcome to Jatin's Scorecard. Today we will preview the first test match between India and Australia, which is the pink ball test match in Adelaide. There has been a lot of comment and speculation on what 11 the Indian team will play in Adelaide. I think they are going to go in with the following team. Prithvi and Mayank to open, Pujara at 3, Kohli at 4, Rahane at 5, Vihari at 6, Saha at 7, Ashwin 8, Yadav 9, Shami 10 and Bumrah 11. I think this is the lineup which probably gives India the best chance of exploiting that pink ball, which we've seen swinging a lot more to begin with rather than the red ball. So I think with Yadav as opposed to Saini in the team, I think that gives India the chance for trying to swing the ball away from the right-hander, and I think that's where Yadav will probably get the edge above Saini. With Shami, you have swing and seam, and if it's his day, he can run through any opposition in the world. The problem with Shami is that he delights and frustrates you within the same over. So he's a guy with loads and loads of natural talent, but as a captain, you're just kind of hoping he's got out of bed on the right side, and if he's done that, then the opposition are in serious trouble. Then the third fast bowler is the spearhead of the Indian attack, Bumrah. I think Ajinkya Rahane will be looking at him to deliver those crucial blows across this test series. Virat Kohli to start off with, and then Ajinkya Rahane. I think Bumrah will also be a potent force with that pink ball in hand. India will use Ashwin as someone who can stop the runs, keep the runs down from one end, because as we've seen, the pink ball doesn't afford a lot of help to the spinners at all. So I think Ashwin will be in more of a keeping it tight kind of mode, while the fast bowlers bowl in spells from the other side. I think that's how Virat Kohli will plan his 90 overs of the day in the field, with Ashwin bowling 26 to 30 overs from one end, and the other three fast bowlers sharing the remaining 60 from the other end. When it comes to the 11 for Australia, I'm still pretty undecided in my head. Primarily because we are not sure of how match fit Pucovski is going to be after that concussion scare. So from my perspective, I think Cameron Green will certainly play in the 11. From what I've seen, I'm really excited about him. He looks like he is a genuine all-rounder. Today the word all-rounder is used a little bit too loosely, but I think somebody like Cameron Green, from what I've seen him bat, he's 6'7", he uses his height superbly, at the crease. Looks to be a great free-flowing driver of the ball. He reminded me, of old school batsmen. I'm a big fan of old school batsmen. He reminded me of that a little bit. So I'm looking forward to seeing him bat. I think he'll bat 5 or 6. But he also has tremendous presence with the ball in hand as well. From what I've seen him, he's got a solid technique. When he bowls at pace. Again, like I said, he's 6'7", so he's got that steepling bounce as well. And I think Australia will play him right throughout this series, and I think he will make a mark for himself. He will make a name for himself by the end of this test series. Australia will miss Warner, that's for certain. From current reports, he's out of the first test match, but I wouldn't be too surprised if he's out of the second test as well. And when you take Warner away from that batting lineup, a lot of onus falls on Steve Smith and Labuschagne. Labuschagne has been in fantastic form, but he will be up against the Indian bowlers who will be trying to nip him out early. So I would actually feel that India sensed somewhere that if they could get Smith and Labuschagne fairly quickly, they would be into a lot of the other unheralded, inexperienced players in the Australian team, and would actually fancy their chances with the bowling attack they have. Another big trump card for Australia is Nathan Lyon. 390 test wickets for this wily off-spinner. Again, an old school off-spinner, very, very traditional action, side on. He deals in guile. He uses his craft and his a shrewd cricketing brain, shrewd reading of the batsman. This guy is a guy who deals in guile. He deals in deception, and that deception can be compartmentalized into three major pillars. I think the point of delivery is one, where he holds the ball back or pushes it through a little bit. So that's one area of deception. The second area of deception is the angle at which he bowls from the bowling crease. I think he is one of the few spinners in the world who regularly during the course of a single over will probably bowl the ball from 2 or 3 different angles. The third area of deception is the speed at which he bowls. He always relies, for the right-hander, he relies on the bat pad and the leg slip coming into play, and hence the speed at which he delivers the ball is actually dependent on the batsman's preparatory movements. Such is his deep analysis for each and every batsman, and that's why he caused India a lot of problems in the earlier series. So I for one feel that Lyon will definitely get to that magic number of 400, but it's going to be interesting how the Indians deal with him, and if the Indians have a different game plan, it's going to be interesting to see how Lyon deals with that different game plan. So he's another guy whom I'm really looking forward to watching. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, please share it amongst your friends and subscribe to Khelomore's YouTube channel as well.